My real name is Alden Heck, but everybody calls me Denny, so it's a little confusing because I would hardly even respond to Alden, but that's how I sign my paintings. I went to Sarah Lawrence College where I majored in philosophy and didn't do very much painting at all, but started about 1980, started painting. I took a couple of classes, long, intense summer classes at Tyler, and was hooked. I've been very involved philosophically with Japanese art of late and reading a lot about Wabi-sabi, which is about a kind of simplicity that camouflages a great sophistication. And a lot of Chinese and Japanese and Korean pottery has that kind of simple thing that if you look closely you can see that it's just masterful. This group are very, very straightforward, at least the pottery, the still life. And I found them very comforting to paint because they're very meditative. They're really just about a portrait of a beautiful, small, simple pot. So that was very soothing to paint this subject this summer. I've had a very rough time in the last 2 years. My husband had a stroke and I found that painting these pots was very... So when Richard saw them he said, "This isn't your usual thing," and I said no, but he liked the sheep. The sheep are actually they're little humanoids, little personalities that are embedded in these portraits of these sheep that I've been painting them for a couple of years, and they're like my friends. They all have names, and you kind of can look at one and know that person. I like the idea of things emerging from the depths or from the dark and then coming forward and making possibly more sense in the foreground, but who knows? It's a mystery.
Where did you get the interest and ability to paint in what I would call kind of an old master style?
I did painting at Sarah Lawrence, but we're talking the 60s, which means that people were throwing paint on the wall. So that was not a technical thing. I found different painters throughout my life that I would commandeer. I would make them teach me. I would just say, "I have to be your student." And I've done that with a number of different painters, and they've allowed me to do that. And in the last year I worked with Martha Erlbacher, who of course is the mistress of the perfect surface, and I learned so much from her. It's just amazing. She looks at my work though and she'll say, "Jenny, you need more complexity in this work." And I said, no, I need to make it more simple. We have to get rid of things, not add things. That's really the difference in our sensibility, but boy did she teach me an enormous amount about technique.
And you're a Quaker, is that correct? Or you were a Quaker? Or?
I was brought up a Quaker education, and
Isn't the simplicity kind of a...
I think so. Funny, yeah, I think that goes pretty deep, And Zen, this whole idea of Wabi-sabi, which I came across only about 5 or 6 years ago, is really about simplicity, but not mindless simplicity, about really complex simplicity. If you're a Chinese calligrapher, you are supposed to practice a character for 70 years, same character, and finally you have painted it maybe once in your life. so that everything is so it's perfect. But it's, you know, it's really the idea of mining one thing and finding everything out about it.